Pretty girl swag coming. 3, 2, 1. Ow! This right here is my swag. All the boys all on me. Damn. Everybody.
What up, DF Nation? This is your girl Dollface. I'm back with another video. I'm trying something different. I'm doing this video on Snapchat to see how it looks with a filter because I think filters are fun. But this video is going to be kind of short. I'm just going to show you how I study for my endorsements. I'm going to study for my tanker, my hazmat, and my doubles and triples endorsement. I'm going to download a couple of apps, show you what the apps are, how they work, what's included in the apps, and hopefully this helps you. This is also the same app that I use to study for my CDL permit. So hopefully this helps you out and you'll be able to utilize this to study for your endorsements. When I'm done with everything, then I'll take practice tests that I'll find online. So stay tuned and tell me what you think. Bye. I'm going to go to my Play Store because I have an Android, and I'm going to search up CDL endorsement test. You'll see the top right here, and I'm looking for something that has as close to 5 stars as possible. So I see this top one says 4.8 stars, the next one says 4.9 stars, CDL practice test 2020. So I'm going to download that one because all the other ones say 4.7, 4.9, 4.9, 4.5. So it's between 4.9 and 4.9. The second one and a fourth one. I want to make sure I get the best one possible. So I look at next to it, it says how many downloads. The second one says 100,000 downloads plus. The fourth one says 500,000 downloads plus. And that's all I need to see. I don't need to scroll down here because I don't need to see all of that. So I'm gonna go with the fourth one. I'm gonna install that. And while I'm waiting for that to install, I'm going to look at this hazmat test to see what this is, because I don't know. You learn, take the test, and there's a study guide. I might end up downloading this one too, since I'm going for my hazmat. So I'm just scrolling through the pictures to see what the app looks like. So we have the hazmat test. This is the learning set, and it just has different sets, different levels. Hazmat carriers must display warning signs of what shape. So these are the questions and what the questions look like. And then you have random questions. So I like to choose random questions when I'm done with everything that I've studied, and I'll do the random questions to see if I know the information or not. And then they have study guides. So like I said, I've never downloaded this before. I don't know if the study guide is you read it or you can have it played to you and listen to it, but this sounds really interesting. Okay, so this looks like a page from the study guide. This is good to have. So this is definitely an app that I want to try to download. I'm going to install that as well. And let's see if this one is installed. It is. Let's go ahead and open that up. And here are my knowledge testings. Okay, so when I studied for my CDL permit, I used this as well. I did general knowledge, air brakes, combination vehicles, and pre-trip inspection. But since I want to study for my hazmat, I also study for passenger, doubles, triples, tanker, school bus. I'm going to study for all of those. So first I want to try to do the easier one. And I think that would be doubles and triples. So you click on it, and then you have to ask questions or answer the questions. So this one says the converter dolly air tank drain valve on coupled double triple trailers should be partially open, or closed. I've never studied for doubles and triples, so I don't know the answer to this, but I will choose a selection and see if I got it right or wrong. If I got it right, then it'd be easy for me to answer it on the test. If I got it wrong, it'll tell me what the right answer is, and then it'll ask me that question again later, and I will have to answer it the correct way. And then different levels, so you know this is level 1. The other levels will have the same question, but it'll be reworded. I can't go to that level yet because it's locked. I have to finish level 1. But so if I miss a question in level 1, it'll reiterate that question in level 2 and level 3, but it'll word it different to see if I actually understood the question that I was asked. So the valve should be, I would say, closed. That's correct. I don't know what that is, but I hope I'll learn. Next question. You are visually checking the coupling of a converter dolly to the rear trailer. How much space should be between the upper and lower fifth wheel? Of course, everybody knows that's none. You're driving with double trailers and must use your brake to avoid a crash. For emergency braking, you should use controlled or stab braking, use light steady pressure on the brake pedal, use only the trailer brakes. I would say a controlled stab braking, that's part of the CDL test. You should know that. Check if the converter dolly is securely coupled to the rear trailer. You should pull gently against the pin of the second trailer, back up slightly and make the visual check to the coupling, release spring brakes and check the movement. I would say pull gently against the pin, like a tug test. Let's see. That's correct. With the hand valve on, you should test the trailer brakes by opening the service line valve at the rear of the trailer. When you do this, you should hear the service brakes slowly move to the fully applied position, air escape from the open valve, the emergency line valve open and release air. I think air escape from the open valve, correct. Which of these statements about emergency steering is true? You can steer more quickly and safely if you hold the wheel with one hand. You can almost always stop more quickly than you can turn. If you have traffic on both sides of your vehicle and something is blocking your lane, a move to the right is still the best choice. I'm going to choose the wrong answer so I can show you what happens when you choose the wrong answer. The right answer is if you have traffic on both sides of your vehicle and something is blocking your lane, a move to the right is still the best choice. I'm just going to choose the first answer. That's wrong. So it shows me the right answer, right? And then it says I have to, on the bottom it says I have to master one more question to unlock the next level. At the top it says you will see this question again soon. So I'll go to next, and now I'm reviewing. At the top it says reviewing. It'll tell you if you got the question right or wrong, and you'll review all of your questions and answers again. This is just so you know if you have retained the information. And this is only level 1. It gets harder as the levels go up. So it should be air tank valve on couple double tripper should be, what did I say before? Open or close? Should closed? Yeah. Which of the statements about emergency steering is true? See, it says at the top I got this wrong, so I'm going to do the right question, which is that one. The converter dolly air tank valve coupled to triple should be closed. Reviewing, emergency steering, all right. So I remember these, so I just select them really quick because I remember the answers. You won't do it as the levels get harder. So you can replay this level, or you can go back to the next level. So I'm going to go back to the next level. And these have ads in them because it's a free app. Level 2, I have 12 questions, and I'll just read a couple of them. Which of these will result in the best control on curves? Slow to safe speed before entering the curve, then coast through the curve. Slow to safe speed before entering the curve, then accelerate slightly through the curve. Brake and downshift during the curve. I select the second one, which is correct. When does the driver manual say you should disable the steering axle brake? Never, when all the trailer have brakes, when the road is slippery. Say never. Disable the steering axle brake. Steering axle brake, you don't want to disable it or you won't have brakes. Which of these is not a good thing to do when driving on slippery roads? Using the engine brake or speed retarder, keep other traffic out of your side space, use a light tap on the accelerator and brake pedal. Which is not a good thing to do. Do you know what the answer is? The answer is the first one. Engine brake or speed retarder. So now you get the idea, right? This is how I am going to study for my hazmat test. Once I get to level 3, I would have mastered it. I believe I can actually go up here to test and do the test simulator. You can do how many questions you want, how many mistakes you're allowed, and the total time. I don't know what the requirements are at the DMV, but I'm just going to keep it at this. I'm going to do instant feedback, total time, 0 minutes. And I'm going to do 0 minutes just for right now. I'm going to select my content. I'm going to take out general knowledge. I've done that before. I'm going to take out hazmat, passenger vehicles, air brakes, combination. I'm going to take out all of them and just keep doubles and triples. There's going to be 50 questions about doubles and triples. And I'm going to begin. Now this is cool to do if you want to see where your knowledge lies. I'm not going to do the 50 tests, the 50 questions, but this is good to do if you want to see how knowledgeable you are before you actually study for it. Because what if you take a couple of different practice tests and you do really well on them, then you could just go to the DMV and take the test. But if you fail and flop on them, then you want to study these. So let's do a couple. To check if the converter dolly is securely coupled to the rear trailer, you should. We already had this question, right? Pull gently against the pin of the second trailer. That was the answer. You must drive through deep or flowing water. You should not. Drive through quickly, use a low gear, keep gentle pressure on the brakes while going through the water and for a short distance after coming out. The answer is drive through quickly. When does the driver's manual say you should disable the steering axle brake? Never. How can you be sure you supplied air to the second trailer? Go to the rear of the second trailer and open the emergency line shutoff. Watch for a drop of 30 psi on the air gauge for each trailer. Open the hand valve with the rig parked and watch for movement. That would be terrible. I would say the first one. That's correct. Let's do the last one. I'll do one more. With the hand valve on, you should test the trailer brakes by opening the service line valve at the rear of the trailer. When you do this, you should hear air escape from the open valve, the service brakes slowly move to the fully applied position, the emergency line valve open and air release. Well, I don't know the answer to this, but let me look. With the hand valve on, you should test the trailer brakes by opening the service line valve. So the last one says the emergency line valve open and air release. Air escape from the open valve is the top one. The middle one, I don't want you can't hear the service brake slowly move, so that's wrong. It's either the first or last one. The emergency line valve open and air release, I don't think you need to touch the emergency line valve unless there's an emergency. So I would say the first answer, and that was correct. So I'm just going to end the test. But I failed because I didn't keep going. But you can restart it or you can review. And this is how I do this is how I study for my test. What is this orange thing? Strengthen skills. Question filter mastered. What does this mean? Oh, I think this is after you've taken the test. So say for example you took the whole test, right? You passed or you failed. It doesn't matter which one. You can go here and you can retest yourself either on all of your wrong answers or all of your answers, all of your wrong answers, all of the reviewed answers, or all of your right answers. Within the test, you can bookmark certain questions, and you can test yourself on that. And then you have the option to show the correct answer and show the explanation. So let me show you what I mean by bookmarks. Say for example, I'm on here. You see that right there in the top right hand corner, that little bookmark thing? I could bookmark that question, and then it'll be in bookmarks. So if I go here and I click bookmarks, it'll be all the bookmark questions that I had. So I hope this helps. You could do the same thing for hazmat. There are 6 levels on hazmat. Let's do a couple real quick. What are the 2 main places where the hazardous material identification number appears? I don't know this. Let's read. Let's see. On the package and on paperwork at the shipping destination. On the shipping papers and on the package. On the package and on the paperwork at the shipping point of origin. On the shipping papers, on the secret document in the driver's wallet. Definitely is not that answer. It's not going to be a secret document. So the question are the 2 main places where hazardous material identification numbers appear. I thought the trailer, but let's see. We want on the package, of course. So that's on question. That's on answer 1 and on answer 2 and 3. We want it on the paperwork, and it doesn't matter. I guess I would say it wouldn't matter if it's on at the shipping destination or the shipping point of origin, because it won't help you with when you have the papers with you. So I would say it would be the second answer, on the shipping papers and on the package, because you need to have that information with you because it's hazmat, and that's important. If something happens, then you need to be able to show that paperwork. So this is how I will work through these questions when studying for this, and that's correct. The 2 main places where you must keep the hazardous material identification numbers are on your shipping papers and on the packages themselves, as these are places that emergency personnel have been trained to check immediately. See? Let's do one more question. Which of the following is a necessary qualification for non-bulk packaging? Again, I don't know this answer, so let's work through it. Necessary qualification for non-bulk. That means, I guess, it's packaged. It's not grain or something like that, I guess. I don't know. A max capacity of 450 L or less if it is used as a receptacle for liquids. Max net mass is less than 400 kilograms or less if used as a receptacle for solid. Max water capacity less than 454 kilograms or less if used as a receptacle for all gases, or all of the above. Hazmat, bulk, so it would be water or liquid, maybe. So I understand that. Liters or kilograms. So I'm looking at the first question, max capacity of 450 liters or less. And then the last question, max water capacity of less than 454 kilograms or less. Top says if used as a receptacle for liquids, and it says if used as a receptacle for gases. I don't know. I'm gonna just put all of the above and see what happens. It was right. Okay, let's see why. Non-bulk packaging has specific qualifications if it's not being used as a receptacle for solids, liquids, or gases. For each, there's a maximum net mass for it to qualify as non-bulk. 450 L or less for liquids, 400 kilograms or less for solids, 454 kilograms or less for gases. So, I don't know these hazmat questions. This is not something... Hold on. This is not something that I would go into and just straight test on. But if I was to finish with level 1 and get through that, then level 2 will re-ask the same questions. By the time you get to level 6 at the bottom right here, you should know the answer to that. But I'm extra and I like to do things extra, so let's go to that website, to that app that I just downloaded, and see what we can learn on here real quick. So learn, study guide, flashcards. I will go to learn, random questions. Which of the following is required? If required, must the shipper put on the package? The answer is all of the above. Also, let's give you the answers. Okay, that's interesting. Let's see what this learning set is. I did that already, right? Okay, so it gives you the answers. So I guess you just have to remember the answers that go with the questions. Let's go to study guide. Intent of the regulations. So you just read through everything. This is pretty cool. I guess because it's kind of like having the CDL manual with you, but it's on your phone. So I would read through these first before I even start practicing, just so I can familiarize myself with it and understand what it is. You got your glossary. Let's see what bulk is, because I didn't know what bulk was. Packaging other than a vessel or barge, including a transport vehicle or freight container, in which hazardous material are loaded with no intermediate form of contaminant, which has those. Liquid. Okay. Shoot, this is good just to have. Like, some people don't know what a consignee is. This is just good to know the information. Okay. So yeah, this is how I would study for all of my endorsements. Carriers must give each driver who transports Class A or B explosives. Whoa. No, that's not true. Oh, okay. That's part of the FMCSR. Wow. Okay. So I need to know what that is. Ooh, this is going to be intense. I will probably do hazmat last. A railroad crossing is ahead of you, and you are hauling hazardous material. When you stop for the crossing, you can stop as far away as blank feet from the nearest rail. I'm just guess and say 10 feet? 50 feet. Ooh, 10 feet is definitely not enough. Let's see what this has. I'm going to just check and see real quick where this is at in the study guide. So railroad crossing, let's see if it's in the study guide. Communication rules, loading, unloading, packaging, marking, loading, driving and parking, driving and parking, driving and parking. Let's see if anything has to do with route restrictions. Just going through it. I'm just scanning through, see if I see anything that has to do with railroad. I don't see anything that has to do with railroad here. Let's go to the other one. Check tires, emergency response, explosives division, railroad crossing. Stop before a railroad crossing if your vehicle's placard carries an amount of chlorine, has cargo tanks for the loaded empty used for hazardous materials. You must stop 15 to 50 feet before your nearest rail. Proceed only when you're sure no train is coming, and you can clear the tracks without stopping. Do not shift gears while crossing on the tracks. Okay, so yeah, I guess the best bet would be to use this study guide to practice. All right, y'all. Well, I hope this helps you guys out. This is what I will be using, and I'll let you know how it goes. If you have any ideas or tips on what do you use to study, leave it in the comments below and let me know. And thank you for watching. You guys have a good day. Bye.